I want to talk also about, because we've been talking about Florida tech, and this is something, as we mentioned, we're both really passionate about. And so there's been a lot of people moving here. There's been a lot of money flowing in. There's been talent coming. There's been a push to develop new talent as well, with from people who are already here. And I'm curious, how you think about, if you were to pitch, let's say someone from New York or San Francisco, or anywhere really in the states, to come move to Florida and build here, what would your pitch be? Why should someone do that?
First off, I'm stoked to work with you on Florida Entrepreneurs Club. It's been a lot of fun, and best techie and your involvement here in this city or county and also South Florida is just really been a massive asset. There's so few people, and if anyone's listening, that really like take the time to tell stories and elevate founders' stories. I think a lot of the media surrounding entrepreneurship is, I would say, in many ways is sort of sold out, and which is fine. But the raw spirit of storytelling and like really cheerleading and getting in the corner of entrepreneurs has been lost, and partially never existed here in South Florida, other than maybe Refresh and Nancy Dahlberg, who's been a big proponent for the work we've been doing down here.
For
So
sure.
kudos to you, Jeff.
But now I'm here and Nancy's here, and we're covering great companies. So that's a positive reason to move here.
Yeah.
I think
So
quality of life also, as you mentioned before,
yeah,
is
yeah.
huge.
So to answer your question, that was just more of like we're stoked to have you here.
Thanks, Nick.
But to answer your question, I always start with quality of life. I'm like, if you move down here, your blood pressure, your heart rate, like everything's just gonna drop. You're gonna feel like you're on vacation. It's so awe-inspiringly beautiful. There's less rat race, and you don't have to sit in traffic for hours and hours a day. And I'm speaking more specifically to Palm Beach County. I mean, Miami is a little crazy still. It's a real city. Once you go south of Boca, as you're well aware, like the traffic picks up and it just gets a little bit more chaotic and more bustling. Um, but South Florida as a whole, it really does have an excellent quality of life. And there's something to be said about being able to go into the ocean here and go for a swim and have access to the outdoors all year round. And what the vitamin D and I think just genetically, like what happens to your body just being out in the sun, and really, a lot of places that where tech is, it's not that sunny all the time, and there's a lot of depression, and people are struggling with mental health because pre-COVID they had to get on a bus to go to work every day, and it's like
Or a
they're,
subway
they're settled in, or
underground.
yeah.
No, that was me, right? I mean, that's what I did. And you're right about the sun. Something about it, when it shines down and it hits your skin, it just feels nice. It's like, the sun's hitting my skin, and you just have first of all, you also get a little tan. You get tanner easier because you're just outside in the sun more. That was one thing I noticed. So that's also a plus. Like you mentioned, there's so many reasons. And I think space is another thing, and cost of living is also another, right? And taxes and all those things. But like, aside from all of that, I really feel like our community that we've been building here, that you've been building here, that everyone's been building here, is one of the best communities I've ever been a part of. I mean, just the people here, they get it, and like they are so welcoming. Everyone, and I do my best to welcome. Whenever I see a tweet saying someone's moving to Miami, I always reply and welcome them, saying, if I can be of any help, please let me know. Like, let me know what I can do to help you. Intros, whatever.
You
And
do a
I
great
think
job
that's
at that.
important. What'd you say, Nick?
I say you do a great job at that,
Oh, thanks, Nick.
and I agree. Like, that this is a unique community. I mean, the fervor for, for each other, and for, I guess, the growth, and and the mindful growth. More importantly, the mindful growth. It's like people are really thinking about, okay, you know, some of us have been here for a while. Like, what does it look like to have a healthy relationship between work and play, a healthy relationship, between startup and venture? And it's interesting. I think people definitely, they're kind of, re-engineering, like, if they're going to do San Francisco, it's not going to be the same way.
Mm-mm.
It's going to be different. If
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be the same as New York, it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same as LA. It's going to be different. So
I think that's true. I think a lot of us are kind of rethinking our approach to work as a whole.
yes.
And I mean, I feel like I've been just as productive. I mean, we've done a crap ton of stuff over the past 6-7 months for Florida entrepreneurs and for Best Techie, and like, and we're still pumping out stuff all the time. But at the same time, I feel like I've had a better quality of life where I've also spent more time just enjoying nature, going outside, going swimming, riding a bicycle, going for a walk, just hanging out. And that, I think, is just so important. And I think, like, you get that vibe here. Like you mentioned, you feel like you're on vacation. I mean, I've been here for a year and a little over a year now, and every day I wake up, it's like, holy crap, I'm on vacation. So I
Yeah.
totally get that. Oh man.